lot going on in the news today and a lot going on in the world today, and it is heartening to see so many of you here and giving your time to this. For us, it's a very clear indication of this, of your belief, as it is our belief, that this is not something that can wait or can take second place. It's not a luxury for when times are good. It is something that is ongoing and we must all keep committed to. So thank you for coming, and you're very welcome. I'm here representing the other half. The other half is an alliance. We've been talking for about a year now, just over a year. And the other half is made up of three organisations. That is the Rape Crisis Network Ireland, of whom I'm a member, Safe Ireland, and the Women's Development Network. We have been looking at taking this step, and we have been working through a lot of the issues. And this is our first activity. We're very proud to have this activity and to see you all here in this room. We're going to have Sharon O'Halloran, the Director of Safe Ireland, and Alan O'Neill, the Director of Women's Development Network, explain a little bit about what we're all about and what this day is about. So I won't expand on further on that. But just to say personally, this is a huge privilege for me to be here and to be emceeing this event. It is, I think, a momentous day for the women's movement in Ireland, and I think it's also an important day for men in Ireland. So without any more, I'd like to introduce first Sharon O'Halloran from Safe Ireland to tell you a little more about how you're here today. Thank you.
Good morning, and welcome to the launch of The Other Half and our White Women campaign. This is a critical development in Irish society. It's a new development, a much needed response to the growing level of violence against women and children in our homes and communities. Last year, over 7,500 women received support from domestic violence services. Between 2007 and 2009, we saw a 43% increase in the number of women accessing domestic violence services. 1,319 individual women received counselling and support across 13 rape crisis centres. There were 23,307 helpline calls in 14 rape crisis centres. And lest we get blinded by figures and fail to realise the enormity of this issue, the reality of what happened last week in Ireland must surely touch our hearts and demand our compassion and action at a level that really can make a difference. In just one day, 4 children and 2 women were murdered in their homes. And I want you to know that we are devastated by this fact. We mourn with the families and the communities that are struggling with such great loss. I and we do not know how they carry such a great burden, but we want to offer our sympathies and to say that we will leave no stone unturned as we work together, men and women, to find new solutions to these entrenched issues. We walk with the families and the communities in their grief, and we pray for an end to violence against women and their children. We dedicate ourselves again to working for peaceful and safe communities, places where men, women and children can flourish. I am reminded of the poem by W.H. Auden when he says, "Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone, prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone, silence the pianos, and with muffled drum, bring out the coffins, let the mourners come." I have worked in this field for over 10 years now, and I have to be honest with you when I say that I am truly optimistic and heartened by the development of this alliance, The Other Half. It is a serious endeavour, a real commitment from men and women to work together to end violence against women, and I passionately believe that this in turn will create opportunities to know and learn and challenge all violence in our communities. You could say that none of us is safe until all of us are safe, men, women and children. I am reminded of my father, since passed, how he loved and cared for his family. Throughout the years, I saw his strength, his vulnerability, his creativity, his passion for life, his love of sport, his desire to achieve, his love of my mother, his daughters and his sons. I know that were he here today, he would be proud to stand alongside me. He would not be silent in the face of violence. He would, in his own creative and clear way, struggle with finding solutions, and he would bring his wisdom to me and to other men and women in this struggle. I know that this room is full of such men today. You are welcome. That this country has thousands of such men with all these attributes. And I and we celebrate your lives and welcome your engagement with us on this vital journey. This journey for life, for well-being and for humanity. In just one day last week, were we to take out the dominance and horror of what is happening to the Irish economy, we would have had more space to take in the horror of elder abuse, rape and sexual violence, domestic violence, child sexual abuse, most of which took place at home. Home is now clearly associated with hurt, not heart. Home is where the heart is these days. In terms of the journey ahead, we need to work together to ensure that these matters do not fall off the agenda, that whoever now dictates our budget spend does not dictate an agenda that minimises our capacity to deliver services, to meet the needs of women and children, to research in greater detail the root causes of this violence, to dare to work for and dream of a society that is free from violence, where we can all, men, women and children, return whole to home and community and work. This alliance, the other half, calls on men and women to continue to work together, to use our influence to seek change, to ensure that safety is restored to our communities, that violence against women and children and men is not tolerated in any shape or form. Our White Ribbon campaign appeals to all men, to you here today, to wear the white ribbon as a symbol of your commitment to end violence against women and children. I encourage you to encourage other men to become aware and involved. And I and we look forward to this journey with you, to making a real difference together and to develop a true appreciation for what it means for men and women to work together for change. Thank you for listening.